Hey guys, it's Jasmine. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is staying safe. And of course, I'm having another bad eyebrow day, but that's okay. It's not like we're going anywhere, right? So I have a new review. You probably caught my last video doing the Jaclyn Hill brushes, which I did use again today. And I really do like the way that these perform. Like, I've not been a brush person so much for foundation. I just never could get a brush to work. And this actually does work. And then I have been using the My Everything brush to work on my contour skills. Don't know how those are really going, but I do like it. So for today, I did use my very dirty, I don't even know what's on there, Cover Fix palette, Cover FX, Cover Fix. Not sure what they call it, but this is what I have been using. I've been using this for a while. This is the Perfector Face palette, and mostly stay, of course, within this contour, use this blush and this highlighter together, and I kind of like the way that it works. So our face is ready. Let's go ahead and open this up. So this is not a new palette, but there has been a lot of controversy with this palette. This is the Volume 1 Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. So this came under some fire recently because this got rave reviews when it first came out a couple years ago. I want to say like 2017, somewhere in there. And people really liked it. And then over the next couple years, some people noticed that their palette didn't perform like their friends that was older. And recently, someone went back and looked after getting a new palette and noticed that these editions actually may contain carmine. And looking on the box myself, I can see that it does not say it contains carmine, but it may contain carmine, and there is no vegan label on this. So, what does that mean? Well, if you don't know, if you haven't been on my channel for a while, and you haven't heard me talk about this, carmine is actually a product of animal parts. It's crushed beetles used to make red pigments. So if you have an all vegan brand, if you are buying vegan makeup, you may notice it does not have carmine. It will actually have dyes, literal dyes for the pressed pigments. That makes it vegan. But when you are not going full vegan, you will use carmine. So this may contain carmine. Now, that being said, I've heard that it still performs great, and the reason that Morphe changed the formula and moved to things that may contain carmine is because they wanted to perfect the pigments and make them a little bit better quality. So, is this actually good? I don't know. I did not have the original palette, and I didn't have the in-between palette that everyone said was just kind of crappy quality. So we're just going to try this now for 2020 and see how it works. So we're going to open her up, and I did get this on sale, so 20 bucks. That was a good deal. And we have our little plastic thingy there. So packaging is just like any other Morphe palette. It's not like incredibly spectacular or anything, but I like it. It's pretty. Like, first impression. The reason I never bought this before is because I thought it was really just a lot of browns. But looking at it, you do have a nice shade range of browns, beiges, oranges, tans, going into some blacks, some dark greens, blue, purple. So I'm excited to try it. And I kind of feel like my collection was a little lacking in it just because I didn't have it. So face is primed, eyes are primed. We're just going to go ahead and dive into it and see how we like the Volume 1 Jaclyn Hill palette. So starting off, I'm going to take this big fluffy brush. I'm going to dip into Silk Cream right here on top. A little disappointed this palette does not have a mirror because some of my other Morphe palettes do. Actually, I think all of my other Morphe palettes do. Yeah, but what are you going to do? So we're just going to go in right here. And ooh, I probably should use a shadow shield just because I don't know how much fallout there's going to be. But, oh, too late to go back now. This is actually going on pretty well. I am going to point out that there is a lot of fallout, at least with this shade, but that's not necessarily a deal breaker because if you have a palette that has a lot of fallout, it can be a good indicator of pigment. However, it is also a great indicator that maybe things just aren't pressed very well, or it's just that type of formula you don't need to press in too hard with your brush. You might even want to use certain brushes with it. So that being said, but yes, Silk Cream is a little dirty, So I want to soften this harshness just a bit, try to get it to blend out a little bit more. So I'm going to use Faint right here. Really, really pretty. Really like that color. And we're just going to try to blend this out a little bit more and soften up these edges just a tad. There we go. Which goes together pretty nice. I remember this palette got rave reviews when it came out. Like, this was like a bomb, you have to have kind of palette. So I'm really hoping it's going to live up to its hype. But that being said, this is not the same palette people had in 2017 or whatever year it was that this came out. So we're just going to have to see. Now, I don't really know what kind of look I want to go for today. I just kind of want to play with it, see where the colors take us. So I think I'm going to take that same brush because Faint, dried off pretty easy on a dry sponge to clean the brush. So I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to use Chip right here. It's kind of a darker brown. Violet's not as bad on that one. Not as bad. So we're going to go right here. Put a little line. Just kind of blend this into the outer corners. Now, this is something I've noticed with some Morphe palettes, and a lot of people complain about this. They think that the palette itself is just completely bad because some colors don't blend well. Now, the thing is with Morphe palettes, some of them are better if you pat on the color versus if you try to blend the color. So it really all depends on the brush you're using and your technique. The James palette is like famous for that. There are some colors that just go on better if they are patted on versus blending, 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 blending. So I think there's a little bit of a learning curve with every palette to figure out the best way to use it. And what a lot of people forget, I think, because maybe they don't know this struggle, is that when you're poor and you have to use like dollar store makeup, which back in the day was not that good, is definitely not as good as it is now. You were stuck. That was some money. You spent the money on that product. You had to make it work. So that's where skill comes in. And I'm not saying that if you're skillful enough, you can make any makeup work, but it certainly does help to learn, to use that learning curve and try to figure out different ways to make a product work for you. Because when you don't have the money to, continuously drop on 20, 30, $40 palettes, you have to make what you have work for you. Anyway, just today's little rant. Okay, so this section here is like really, really calling me. So I'm trying a little experiment. Want to see how this will work. I'm going to go into Diva right here, which is like a metallic-y, sort of like a teal, dark green. I don't know. It's like a metallic mix of Jada and Enchanted right here, which is a little bit more of it's almost a black, but it's a dark green. And then we have like this teal here, or at least in this lighting, that's how it looks to me. So we're going to use Diva. And I want to go right here and see if we can blend this. Ooh, maybe I should cut the crease. Well, we'll just see how this works. Actually, yeah, I really should have cut the crease. So we're going to blend this up into the crease. See, I mean, it's actually blending out very well. I'm a little surprised. It's doing so well. That is actually really pretty. That is actually really pretty. And I'm going to leave a little section there in the inner corner of the eye. Okay, I'm not mad at it yet. I'm not mad at it yet. Let's take this little detail brush. I'm going to grab Jada right here. And it's a matte. Let's see how this lays down now. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not mad at that. Oh, yeah, we have some fallout. Look at that. We have some fallout with that one. Oh, under my eyes is so bad with the fallout, but we're gonna push through it. We can just clean it up. Not a big deal. We're gonna push through. So already I'm thinking shadow shields would have been a perfect investment for this look with this palette. But you know, sometimes that happens. You get a lot of fallout. So I'm gonna take this little flat brush, this kind of Elmar brush. We have that little flat thing going on there. And let's just do something fun because we already have to clean up all underneath. I'm going to go into Royalty right here. Really, really pretty purple. And I'm hoping this purple pays off because purples I know are hard to get right. So I'm hoping we can do a very tight, pretty purple line right under here. Just add some color. And we need something for a highlight color for this little section up here. So I'm going to go into In Light because it looks like it's the lightest of the colors. And we're going to see if we can pop this on top. Just go right. Ooh, wow. Okay, that is a, whoo. That is very pigmented. Yes, let's highlight those little brow hairs that I haven't been able to pull out of my face yet. Okay, so I'm going to clean up all under here with some concealer. We're going to pop on liner and lashes and then come back into a final thought. Okay, so we are back, and I just say that that was horrible trying to conceal because it just smeared green under here, and I feel like it's still fucking green. But what are you gonna do? So, lesson learned with this palette, I would say use shadow shields, use tape, use something, or just don't even do your foundation first because if you get any of that pigment on there, it's going to kind of like stain a little bit. It's going to piss you off. Otherwise, I'm actually pretty happy with this palette. I'm not angry at this palette yet. For what I used, it seemed to blend out pretty good. I mean, I don't really have any complaints with this other than that fallout because, like, I still feel like it's all green under here. But I do like the colors. I do like the selection of colors. I can see myself having a lot of fun with this. So, yeah, I'm going to say, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Let's say 7 out of 10 because we don't have a vegan formula anymore. Thanks, Morphe. Like, that's not Jaclyn's fault. That's Morphe's fault. I think all the drama channels have pretty much solidified that. I like the color selection. I mean, honestly, some of this palette's really boring to me. A lot of it kind of looks the same, but I could see myself doing a lot of looks with this. So I'm not angry at it, and also only spent 20 bucks on it, so you know, you can't really be mad at that. You get a lot of product here for just $20, so that's a good deal. Yeah, I'm still drawn to all this. I'm drawn to this section up here. I want to see how this black is. I want to see how this enchanted is. It's very, very dark green. I'm excited to have this and to play with it. So will I end up getting volume 2? I don't know yet. Like I wasn't immediately drawn to that palette when it came out, but it's gonna be such good reviews. I also just really do want to try it. Kind of liking the way this turned out. We'll just have to see how much more I use this palette and how many more looks I can create with it. But do you have the volume 1 in the Jaclyn Hill collection? Do you have a newer one? Did you get one from those middle years where it was just kind of Did you get the original back in 2017 or whatever the hell year it was? Let me know down there in the comments below. I will have more reviews coming soon because I did order some more stuff. But it's not volume 2. It's not volume 2. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys stay safe. We just found out today my son's school is canceled for the rest of the school year. So it's kind of following suit with what a lot of other states have done. So yeah, everybody stay home, stay safe. And I will see you guys on the next video. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know every time I put a new video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.